Hi, my name's Dan Berger. I'm the senior commercial lender here at the Rocky Credit Union. I just want to take a moment to talk about my financial planning and if I think back at the things I did over the years or things I want to do different, I could probably go on for hours, but but I'll concentrate on some of the things I think is important. One thing I remember my father always talking to me about was retirement. And I remember thinking, man, that's like 40 years away. Why would I want to think about that right now? But you know what? When I think back of it now, 30 years, and I realize that time has gone by really fast. Really, it's important that I look at my plan quite often. So I recently read an article that different generations have different priorities and different goals. And so what I felt was important when I was growing up, and I still do it this day, may not be the same expectation or goals that my kids have right now. But there's one goal that I think is intergenerational, and that is retirement. Before I got married, I had actually quite a bit of disposable income at the end of each month. Even when my wife and I were married, when we got married, we had disposable income. But for some reason, we never be able to save that money. And then, of course, we both started college, university, and while we lived on noodles and craft dinner. So I didn't really start making RSP investments until after post-secondary school. And by then, of course, we had started a family. So our initial investment was minimal based on the additional living expenses that we had at that time. But I've always been impressed when I look back at my portfolio, how quickly that did accumulate. Even those years where our investments were lean, I still maintained a substantial deposit at this day. But one thing that I wish I would have done, and that was probably, I had the opportunity 3 or 4 years prior to that to make extra contributions when I had the income, and I didn't do that. And I believe over 30 years, that would have made a significant impact to the balance that I have right now. So at this age, I'm not recommending to everybody to be completely focused on retirement. But I do want you to keep that in mind when you're making any investment or financial changes in your life. For example, buying a home. Many people will look at what the payment is now and can they afford that. But the other thing to consider is the amortization. How long is that mortgage going to be over? Will you be in your 60s and still have a large loan payment to make? Consider those payments and how that's going to impact your ability to put money aside for retirement. And will you, at the end of the mortgage, are you going to have sufficient funds left to maintain the lifestyle that you had planned and the corresponding expenses when that day comes? So also too, I'm not advocating RSPs as a strictly investment option. There are lots of investment opportunities out there, but I want you to consider tax savings and earning a solid rate of return. So I guess in conclusion, if you're not sure about making an investment plan, or if you have a plan and you want to review it, please stop in to see anybody at any of our investment team here at the Rocky Credit Union. I know that you'll get some really solid advice, understandable, easy to understand, and hey, it's free.